thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. A break to my heart, it's weighing me down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know.
Hey guys, it's Kira and welcome to another vlog. Today is my first official day taking part in the Gilmore Girls Readathon, and if you're not aware of what this readathon is, it is, as the title suggests, a Gilmore Girls themed readathon that was being hosted by 4 wonderful booktubers, all of whom I will link down below. The readathon was taking place between Sunday the 15th of November and Sunday the 22nd, and today is Friday the 20th of November. I didn't intend to start my readathon so late into the week, but I have been having a very unforeseen but extremely busy week. I just didn't realise I was going to be so busy with work this week, and lots of other things came up which just meant that I have done little to no reading and have basically made no progress on the TBR that I set for this readathon. However, it is now Friday and I have 3 more official days of this readathon, which means I have plenty of time to catch up and do as much reading as possible, as well as watching some Gilmore Girls and of course drinking all the coffee. So to get off to a good start, I made my way over to Costa this morning and I got one of their Christmas drinks. I'm on a mission over the next 4 weeks or so to basically try every single vegan-friendly festive drink option available at all of the cafes. And so today I have a purple one latte, which is essentially like a caramel and hazelnut flavoured latte, and I got this one made with oat milk and it is really, really good. Big fan, so I'm definitely going to be trying all of the festive drinks over the next few weeks and I cannot wait. But as this is a readathon vlog, let's get started with what I'm going to be reading over the next couple of days. Now, although I haven't done very much reading this week, I have been reading an audiobook since Monday, and it is very in keeping with the theme of this readathon because I have been listening to Lauren Graham's Talking as Fast as I Can. I'm currently on chapter 8 and I have 2 hours 20 minutes left, and basically because I've been so busy I've just been listening to that audiobook when I've had a little bit of free time or whilst I've been doing other tasks throughout the week, and I have been loving it. It's been so interesting to listen to Lauren Graham talk about her life, how she got into acting, what happened in Gilmore Girls, and obviously her experiences since Gilmore Girls, and she is just such an interesting and also funny person to listen to. So that has been something I have been loving this week, and I'm definitely going to continue listening to that one today. It's only the second ever audiobook that I've listened to. I don't do audiobooks very often, but I had heard in quite a few different sources that was the best way to read this book because she is so funny and she's such an iconic person that I think to read the book in physical format wouldn't be quite as good as actually listening to her tell the story, and I'm so glad that I decided to get the Audible subscription for this because I'm loving it so much. And then I did set myself a full TBR for the Gilmore Girls Readathon. Not sure how many of the books on that TBR I am going to finish, but I'm at least going to try and get through a couple, and the one that I was most excited about is the one that I'm going to be starting with, and that is Christmas at the Island Hotel by Jenny Colgan. I am so hyped to read this book because I read another book in this series which was The Island Christmas last Christmas time, and it was so cozy and such a lovely book, and so I know that I'm really going to enjoy this one. It's also such a beautiful hardcover, and it's got a cool dust jacket that's all festive and gold, but the most exciting part is that the actual hardback itself is festive, and I just think it's so beautiful. So I'm going to be starting this one today while watching Gilmore Girls and basically just having the best time of my life. So without further ado, I'm going to finish my coffee, probably listen to some more of the audiobook which I was listening to on my walk around to go and get said coffee, and I'll catch up with you later when I do some more reading.
With the less do we hurt, let me speak the truth. I know you don't want to face it, you think it's too late, but I can see past the rain. Won't you lay it on me, turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighter.
Time just seems to be having a way of running away with me lately on work days, but I have been listening to the audiobook of Talking as Fast as I Can and I absolutely love it. It's really testament to how much Lauren Graham manages to make her life sound interesting, because like biographies and autobiographies and generally non-fiction isn't really my usual cup of tea, but I just love Lauren Graham and all things to do with Gilmore Girls so much, so I'm loving it. In true Gilmore Girls fashion, I have a delightful Friday night dinner ahead of me. I ordered Papa John's because they do the best vegan pizza. So I've got a vegan cheese and tomato and also some cheesy tater tots, which I had never tried before, but I've just been nibbling some on the way home in the car and they are incredible. And I think I might treat myself to a Friday evening episode of Gilmore Girls or 10. But after I finish eating, I am definitely planning to do some reading of Christmas at the Island Hotel.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
Good morning guys, it is now Saturday and I'm just about to go out for a lovely, probably very cold morning walk. I literally cannot believe how wintry it looks outside right now. I feel like literally just like a couple of weeks ago, or at least it only feels like a couple of weeks ago, I was showing you the tree outside our window and it was still green on the bit that was closest to us, and then it faded to a really beautiful like yellowy orange on the other side, but it was still full of leaves, and now it has about 5 leaves left on it and it is just completely bare. It does look quite cool against like the morning sunrisey sky, but still I just can't believe how quickly winter seems to have like set in. However, that does feel very fitting for my current read, which is of course Christmas at the Island Hotel. I managed to read a total of 78 pages of this book last night and I am really enjoying it. It's just cozy, light-hearted. There are some more serious elements in there, but for the most part, you know, it's generally a feel-good, festive, small-town vibes book, and it's just really, really nice. So I don't really know how much to say about this book because it is part of a wider series, but essentially we pick up about a year after the events of the last book, which was An Island Christmas. One of the characters at the end of An Island Christmas had just had a baby, and she is kind of dealing with the situation of like not feeling as happy in motherhood as she had expected to, and then on the contrary, her partner, who didn't really want the baby in the first place, has taken to being a dad like really, really easily, and she feels kind of put off by the fact that he seems to have just taken to it so easily even though he didn't want it, and then she did, and yet is still really struggling. There's also themes of grief, and then also some more funny characters. So in this one in particular, it's obviously Christmas at the Island Hotel, and the Island Hotel is just opening, and it's this big fancy hotel that was created by an American developer, and then it's been left to one of the villagers or like people from the small town, and so they're trying to like open up this hotel, and it's not necessarily an idea that the entire island is happy with, but they bring over this like fancy French chef who's quite a funny character. Then there's also a boy from Norway who is like a very rich like kid, and then his dad has basically made him come over because he's like too badly behaved. So there's some like very much comedy characters in here, and then others that are like definitely more serious and likeable. But on the whole, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this one later on today. But for now, Jay and I are going to go out for a walk. I have it in my mind to try and find a delicious festive hot beverage because obviously, as I mentioned yesterday, that is my main focus right now, is trying all of the Christmassy hot drinks, and that will definitely keep me warm on what is otherwise going to be a very, very cold wintry walk.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. The fuck's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. For I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'm a drink at this place. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? If I had an option to be someone else, I would, and let go of you. I know that I'm obvious, fuck it, I'm made this way. But why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. For I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done in my drink at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? The only one that's left in the rain. The only one that's left in the rain. Am I the only one? 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 Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know
Turns out my love of Christmas apparently isn't just something that I talk about and think about during the daytime, it's also something that seems to be on my mind at night, because something you may or may not know about me, probably not because I don't think I've ever talked about it, is that I am a prolific sleep talker. I have been pretty much for my whole life. I just cannot stop talking. I love to talk while I'm asleep, but apparently as much as I love to talk about when I'm awake, which is obviously quite a lot, and I can sleep talk about literally anything, whether that's like spiders because I'm really scared of them and that seems to influence my dreams, or sometimes after teaching a late night yoga class I will wake up and start talking yoga talk as if I'm teaching a class in the middle of the night. And last night I was sleep talking about something else, and usually Jay just tells me in the morning what I ended up saying at night time because he usually stays up later than me, but last night he decided to actually record it, so I thought I'd play it for you because it's quite funny, and why not? Let's get to know myself a little bit better.
What was it? I said, I told you that the gingerbread men love to listen to conversations about cars in the kitchen. Oh, you said something about penguins as well. I think I meant to say gingerbread men. Okay, thank you.
Last night apparently I was so invested in the concept of gingerbread men that I actually started talking about it, so that was pretty funny and I just thought I'd share it with you. I'm currently just waiting for some cinnamon rolls to bake because one of the prompts for this readathon was to bake a fall treat and then watch an episode of Gilmore Girls, and so I'm baking cinnamon rolls and I cannot wait because they are my favourite things ever. Well, the initial plan was to try and finish this book today. However, this is me we're talking about, and I feel like almost every single time I set myself a deadline for finishing a book, I fail to meet it. It's just how my mind works. I just haven't had time to finish this book today, and I'm loving it, so I don't want to rush it. I'm currently on page 213 of, I think, about 350 pages of Christmas at the Island Hotel, and this book is making me feel so cozy. I literally love it so much. It basically feels like the equivalent of a Hallmark Christmas movie in book form, and I am such a sucker for Hallmark movies. Basically, all of the cheesy, cringy, happy, community type stuff that you wouldn't really care about any other time of the year, suddenly you put on like a bit of tinsel and some fairy lights, make it Christmassy, and it's just incredible, and that is exactly what this book is, and I'm loving it. I will say that by comparison to An Island Christmas, which is the book prior to this one in the series, I feel like this one is slightly more comical, and there are like characters, like I've mentioned, like a rich prince from Norway who has to come to the island to basically like learn how to be a better person, and then the like grumpy French chef who comes to the island and kind of makes some friends there. It just seems like a far more comedy focused installment of the series, but there are still some more serious elements, including a character who is a doctor on the island, but he's also a refugee and an asylum seeker. Him and his two sons live on the island, but his wife from back home in Syria is still missing, and that is kind of like a really interesting theme that was explored in the book prior to this one as well, because he's kind of struggling with not being able to move on without the closure of knowing what happened to her. And then, like I said, there's also the theme of grief, because one of the characters lost a partner in the last installment, and also like a difficult postpartum experience for one of the main characters as well. So it's really interesting because on the whole it's really cozy, it's really light-hearted, it's really fun, it's really funny in times and just feels very festive, but then it's also got those more serious parts as well, which I think just comes together to make a really interesting and compelling book, so I'm absolutely loving it. I thought that to conclude this vlog though, because technically it is still one day left of the readathon, however, tomorrow morning I teach yoga classes until like midday, and I just feel like I'm not going to end up filming anything or reading anything until tomorrow evening, by which point I want this vlog to be live. So I thought that I would just conclude by going through which prompts I've kind of managed to tick off, because let's be honest, I haven't done the best job with this readathon. However, I'm obviously reading a book which is set in a small town. It does feature mother-daughter relationships because one of these smaller characters works at the Island Hotel, and there's a bit of an interesting theme about her mum being very like negative and kind of holding her back, so that's quite interesting. It is definitely set to during winter, and one prompt is to read a book set in fall or winter. It definitely deals with complicated love interest because the character, like I mentioned, who is the doctor on the island, Safe, he is kind of interested in another person on the island but is really struggling to move on, so it's very complicated in that sense. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to read the book that I'd picked to read by an Asian author, which I will be reading soon, which is Little Fires Everywhere. I really want to read that one super soon. I did bake a full treat, my cinnamon rolls, which are delicious, and then finally read the next book in a series that you haven't finished, and this is the next book in the Island series that I'm currently in the middle of. So definitely feel like I managed to tick off quite a few prompts with just this one book, and I'm also still listening to Lauren Graham's book as well. So on the whole, although I haven't read as much as I thought this week, I've definitely been enjoying the cozy, wintry Gilmore Girls vibes, and I am loving it. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on what I've read of this book so far, and I will continue to update you in my next vlog that I'll be starting tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.